So we're through Christmas. 2011 is almost at an end. How was it for you? I hope you had a good year. What do we have to look forward to in 2012? Well, most immediately, we have a very interesting awards season ahead of us, not least because it's very likely that The Artist, the brilliant film by Michel Hazanavicius, is about to become the first film not just nominated for, but possibly to win a Best Picture Oscar pretty much since the advent of sound. I mean, it's extraordinary. You may well get a situation in which the Best Picture category has, on the one hand, The Artist, on the other hand, Martin Scorsese's Hugo. Now, Hugo is a 3D movie, it's made with up-to-the-minute CGI special effects, but it refers back to very, very early cinema, to the birth of cinema, to Méliès and the Lumière brothers. The Artist is a black and white film which is largely silent and has won over a mainstream audience. It would be terrific if the film won a bunch of awards, not least because it proves that black and white silent film can coexist with high-tech digital movies. You don't have to have one rather than the other. May I also take this opportunity to say, I did a blog recently about saying that the advent of 3D and me being against it was the same as the advent of colour. I was against that, and the advent of sound, I was against that. It was a joke. I still think 3D sucks. In January, we have The Iron Lady. You will have seen the trailers and you'll know that Meryl Streep's performance as Margaret Thatcher is pretty terrific.
I may be persuaded to surrender the hat. The pearls, however, are absolutely non-negotiable. That's the tone that we want to strike.
What else is there to say about The Iron Lady? Well, it has all the political clout that you'd expect from a film directed by the maker of Mamma Mia, which, let us not forget, was the most successful British movie ever made. Meryl Streep's performance is great. The rest of the movie, it's a bit Teletubbies, frankly. January also sees the release of Shame, the new film by Steve McQueen, with an outstanding central performance by Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender won the Kermode Award for Best Actor a few years ago for his role in Steve McQueen's film Hunger. And you can also see him in the forthcoming David Cronenberg movie, A Dangerous Method, in which he co-stars with Keira Knightley and Viggo Mortensen. But Shame is really, really worth catching. It's edgy, strange, difficult, deals with subject of sex addiction, and at the heart of it is another very, very physical, completely riveting performance by Michael Fassbender. Also out in January, Steven Spielberg's War Horse. Spielberg is really racking them up at the moment. I mean, Tintin only just came and went a couple of months ago. The question with War Horse is twofold. Firstly, will it win over fans of the play? I've seen the film, I never saw the play, but people who saw the play said it was terrific, said the puppetry worked really well, it was a fully engaged emotional experience. Will they be won over by the film? Second thing is, it's a 12 certificate movie, and like The Source, obviously it's courting a younger audience. Will they be able to deal with the amount of crying? I mean, I saw it, I think it was the Empire, Leicester Square, just a month or so ago, and there was not a dry eye in the house. I mean, it is E.T. levels of tear-jerking. Also out that month, Coriolanus, the Ralph Fiennes adaptation, Clint Eastwood's J. Edgar, and a widgety, strange little movie, Acts of Godfrey, which is a British comedy done entirely in rhyming verse. When was the last time you saw one of them?
Oh, foul is fair. The plot does thicken. But in truth, you're all cards in a game I control. Performance, obediently playing a role.
Sleep well, Malcolm. The day will come you taste one drop of that boy's sorrow. Who knows? Could well be tomorrow.
On into February, and on the basis of the trailer alone, I'm already ridiculously excited about the Muppets movie. I mean, I love Muppet Christmas Carol, but the fact is the sight of Fozzie Bear with fart cushions on his feet has made me laugh much more than it should have done.
Check it out, fart shoes. Patent pending.
Also out that month, the 70th anniversary reissue of Casablanca, one of the greatest films ever made. And here's something I'm very excited about. The 3D reissues of Star Wars, and I'm very pleased about this because I really feel that George Lucas has failed to fully exploit the potential of the Star Wars franchise. You know, if he looked harder at that franchise, he might find other ways of making money out of it, like maybe doing an animated spin-off, or maybe some action figures, or maybe just going back and digitally changing one or two little details. I mean, these are all avenues that George could explore were he more money-minded. Then looking ahead further into the year, in March, we have John Carter from Mars, now John Carter. Will it be worth the wait?
Our world is dying. Fate has brought you here, John Carter.
We have The Hobbit at the end of the year in December, or at least we apparently have The Hobbit. I mean, there have been so many production delays on that. Let's assume that December is a locked date.
You'll have a tale or two to tell when you come back.
Can you promise that I will come back?
No.
We've got a new Mark Evans movie, Hunky Dory, and anything by Mark Evans is always worth looking forward to. I think that Patagonia was rather ignored in cinemas, sadly. We have Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, an adaptation of a pretty much unfilmable novel with Lasse Hellström has had a go at that, and I like that novel very much. And of course, in July, The Dark Knight Rises. I know some of you will already have seen the trailer. They've been showing the first few moments of the film to get people's appetites whetted. But the crucial thing for me is it's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's the closure of the trilogy. He's one of my favourite directors. It's shot by Wally Pfister, who is a great hero of mine. I think one of the best cinematographers working in cinemas. And very importantly, both Wally Pfister and Chris Nolan think that 3D is not the future. The future is IMAX. And I think they may well be right. And 2012 may well be the year that we find out that they were right. Happy New Year.
When Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die.